thrilled that you are here, and we hope that what we have to present for you today will be beneficial.
All right, here is our contact information, but I can use Google Tools to improve communication in my classroom with my parents and among my peers. I can use Google Tools to increase engagement and collaboration, and I can increase creativity by utilizing available resources from Google Tools.
If you want to take a look at this first slide, we're going to talk a little bit about Google Drive. If you want to go into your Google Drive, let's talk a little bit about Workspaces. You'll notice here in Drive that on the left, you have something called Priority. And if you want to go ahead and click on Priority, I want to talk to you about what your Workspaces can look like. I work in 4 different schools, and I also work on a team where we share a lot of information across the county. So this is one of the ways that I've organized myself is with Workspaces. If you haven't used them previously, then yours are probably empty, but you could click Create here, and you can name your workspace. Now you'll notice I have named my workspaces for the schools in which I teach. So I work in Evelyn, Irwin, North Buncombe, and North Windy Ridge. So I created a separate workspace for each of those. And the rationale for doing that for me is because I struggle with finding all of the pieces of things that have been shared with me and all of the things that I'm creating to share back with teachers. And so when you do a workspace, then you can open up your workspace and you can add files to it by using this tab. So right now I'm working at Evelyn with a teacher planning a podcast activity for her classroom. So I've included in here in my workspace that Google Doc that I've shared with Ms. Moore where we are collaborating together. I've also shared a couple of images and a document that I just created today that I'm sharing with media specialists there. This is a quick way, if I know that it's a question that Evelyn has had for me, I can click here, I can pull up the things that I've created and I'm working with in Evelyn. Here that I actually named this 2-Rethink Education Cohort because Workspace automatically sorts and organizes by alphabet. So I've named this number 2 because I wanted this to be one of the very first things that pops up, because really this course is something that I'm doing in addition to my regular job and out of sight, out of mind. So I really wanted to pop up first so that all of my documents are there. The other thing that you will notice is I have one for my BLC team information because that's my primary job. So I've made that one number 1 and then made number 2 for this DPI course that is outside of bounds of my regular job, but still super important. And then I've made one for each of my classes. Now, take a second, kind of process what that looks like. I want to hear any questions or any ideas about how you might use that to work for you.
Is it only documents you can move, not entire folders? Is that true?
Correct. I have not moved entire folders. There is a document limit as well. You can have 25 documents at one time within a workspace. So what I've found that I'm doing is current things that I'm on go into my workspace. And then when I finish with something, I will go ahead and take that out of the workspace. Now that does not delete it from my Google Drive. I can go and stick it in the folder for that school because I do have Google folders, of course, labeled for my schools as well. So I just keep things that are a priority that are a current working now. Good question. Other questions about Workspace? How might you use it? Does anybody have any ideas for how might you use it with your, one thing that I do, obviously, I do it with my different schools that I'm in, but different things that I'm teaching. It could be concepts that I'm teaching, or it could be a unit, wit and wisdom, unit, module 1, week, whatever. And then I'm keeping track of all of those digital resources that I'm using there. You could also use it to have collaborative things with your students if you wanted, and you had a particular student who's working on a an independent project. That might be a good place for you guys to work on things.
Can I ask one more question? So
of course.
Is the workspace just limited to you, or can you share it with someone else?
That's a great question. You cannot share your entire workspace. However, you can share any of the documents within. And so that's what I'm doing in my drive. I'm just going to go click on my regular drive. And you'll notice here that there are folders that I've already created that I've changed the color of. If you want to change a color, click on a folder, right click it, and then you can see here you can change color. Now, purposes of changing colors, of course, eye-catching, maybe it means something to you if you have a school whose colors are green and yellow, you change the folder to green so you'll remember, hey, this is my Reynolds folder, and you can locate it really quickly. So you can change color on any of those slide folders that you're working with. Over on the left, you'll see priority. That's where you'll find any workspaces that you've created. My drive, where you'll find all of your documents. Shared drive, where you'll find anything that someone has shared with you. And then if you look down, you'll see the starred. And when you star things, it is going to automatically capture them. It's kind of like saying this is super important, don't lose this one. It's super easy to star things. You can go into up at the title, if it's a Google slide, and just click that little star button. Conventions, how many of you have a naming convention that works for you in how you organize? Kristina is going to talk a little bit about her naming conventions.
Thing like I taught English, so it'd be like English 1 or English 2, and then dash like whatever text that we were reading. Folder name might be fall 2021 or spring 2022, and then within that, the document name would be English 2 dash whatever we're reading. So like if it was a night unit.
So we've had a question from Kim. So Kim, I want to address your question really quickly. Kim asked, I don't see the star to click when we're starting things. In my Google Drive over here on the far left, Kim, is where I have the starred folder. So here is where the starred folder will be. So these are all things that I have previously starred. But I'll show you in your drive if you wanted to star something. For example, I'm going to just look in my drive and I'm going to scroll down to a document. Ooh, I've got a teacher who really needs this document here. When I go into this document, I can right click. And then when you right click, add to starred. And then that will then put it into your starred folder immediately. So here it is. Does that help, Kim?
On here, so say that you want to give your kids a copy of a PowerPoint, a Google Doc, anything Google related. If it's in your Google Drive, you can do this with it. And you click the yellow share right here. If you go down here to copy the link, if you click change this, anyone can view. If you hit copy the link, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to come over here. I'm going to paste it here. If I delete everything up into this edit, do you see that last /? If you back all of that off and then just type the words copy, and I'm going to hit enter and send this to everyone. If you click that, it will force a copy in your drive. So you will have a copy of today's presentation.
Is a white page that says, do you want to make a copy of this? When you click copy, it will say copy of, and then it will show the name of whatever presentation it is. Does the same thing for your student.
Yep, you'll click make a copy right here, and then that copy will be in their drive.
3 things we want you to try. We want you to go into your own Google Drive. We want you to color code a folder. We want you to star a folder or a document. And we want you to force a copy of a document so that we can answer your questions right now. Yes,
I have
Jamie.
a question, Ms. Cutshall. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I've clicked on this thing, and what it does is it tries to open it in Internet Explorer. I just ran out into the hallway to get what I thought was a code it's calling for. So is there any way to copy that? I mean,
yes. Let me just send, yes, that's a good point. And let me tell you what's happening is that your default browser is not set to Google Chrome. And so when we're trying to open a document, it's opening in Internet Explorer because that's the default that has come from the last update.
We're getting quite a few comments that everybody's is doing the same thing, opening up in Microsoft Edge.
Well, this is just a side tidbit that you didn't ask for, but I'm going to give you anyway. When we get system updates, it will go back to default Microsoft Edge. Is that correct, Pam?
I'm not sure. I know that's not the answer you wanted, but I've set mine to where it's not like I've changed mine, and I change it for teachers, and I help students change it a lot. So okay. I haven't seen mine revert back, but I definitely know if you have a re-image, it will. So it's good to know how to do it.
Okay. So here's what I need you to do. Back on your original desktop page, like you see on mine right now, go down to your little white search toolbar and go ahead and type in default apps. And you will see it populate here, just like mine is. And when you click on that, basically what this page is doing is telling your computer how and what you want to open when you're working with anything related to an email. If you're opening a piece of music, I want to use media player, or I want to use some other program. So what you want to do right now, my email is Google Chrome. If you use something different as your default, of course you can change that, but I think everybody defaults to Google Chrome since that's our Gmail account. But you'll want to scroll down here to web browser and click here. And then you probably have Edge selected, or even Internet Explorer. Jamie, is that what you see currently? Okay, so what you want to do is just click on your Google Chrome and it will change for you automatically. You don't have to save anything there. And
Chris,
then
I think it does give them a pop-up that says something and you want to go ahead and say change anyways. Like,
oh yes, because it will give you that pop-up that says Microsoft is the recommended because it's a Microsoft computer. So yes, thank you, Pam, for pointing that out. So once you change that, that should fix for the future that it will open in Google Chrome instead of Internet Explorer. So,
yes, and once you change that default, if you click on the link again, it will open in Google.
Yeah. So let's go back and try that and see if you have better success. Okay, so Katie, I see your message. I'm going to send you that link again. Actually, now that you've changed it, let me just post that link again and see if you can open it now and it opens in Google Chrome. Did it work, Katie? Yes. Okay, perfect. So now you can be the cool kid on the block in your PLC and you can help everybody else not have that problem when they go to open something. Okay,
and
so
Martha, I've got your messages. Were you able to get it to work? I know you're having some mic issues.
So now that you have your own copy of the entire presentation, we are on slide number 7 is where we just were, where we were asking you guys to do your own color coordinating, starring a folder, and forcing a copied document. Questions that anybody had while you were trying that? Because I know some of you didn't get to try it because you couldn't open the presentation. So I'm going to pause for just another minute and let you guys try that. See some very studious faces as you're working. So that's awesome. If everybody is good there, we're going to move on to slide number 8. Now that you have a copy of the presentation, I'm still going to share, but I'm going to jump back and forth because I want to show you a couple things inside of email. So what we're going to jump to now are some Gmail folder tips, tricks, labels, things that you can do within Gmail. If you notice on your presentation, slide number 8, there is a video on the right-hand side, and there above it gives you timestamps with different things that that video will teach you. That is even additionally above what we're going to show you right now. So when you're ready for 2.0, you may want to check out that video. But let's look at the check boxes and let's talk about some of the things that are going to be helpful for you. What I want to show you is how to create a template for sending emails. I don't know about you, but I send similar emails to lots of people. And I just keep thinking, why am I typing this whole thing again? Teachers, I know you do. If a kid's missing work, if a kid has been absent, if you're just concerned about a student. So one of the things I want to show you is how to turn on the opportunity to save emails as a template. So if you want to go up to your settings gear here, and then I'm going to select See All Settings. These are your settings for your Gmail, and there are several different things you can turn on and turn off depending on how you like to customize what you see. So one of the things that I want to show you, you'll see at the very top of this that you have tons of different tabs that you can select here. The one I want you to go to first is the advanced. We're just going to jump in the deep end. No drowning. We're here to save you. So if you look at the second option, you'll see turn frequent messages into templates to save time. Templates can be created and inserted through the More Options menu on your Compose toolbar. You can also create automatic replies using templates and filters together. Yours right now is likely disabled. If you will click on Enable, I want to show you what this is going to allow you to do and hopefully give you some options that will be time savers for you. So once you have clicked on the templates, give me a thumbs up so that I can see that you've been able to find that setting. Again, in your Gmail, this gear is where you want to be. That gear will open up See All Settings. And when you're here, you can click on your Advanced tab. Templates is your second option. So when you are there, show us the thumbs up.
I'm sorry, I'm still having trouble. I
Okay, Ken, how can I
don't know
help?
what step I'm missing.
Okay, tell me where you are, or if you'd like, you can share your screen. I'll stop
Okay.
sharing mine and you can show me what you're seeing, and that way we can work through it. Perfect. Okay, so if you'll go up, do you see on the right-hand side of your toolbar beside where it says Buncombe County Schools and your icon, there you go. Grab that gear and click on the gear.
Okay.
And then click on See All Settings.
All
It's
right.
their first button.
Let me move. Okay. I think I have my Zoom box over top of it.
There you go. Perfect. And
Thank
then
you.
click on your Advanced.
Okay. All right. There I am.
Awesome.
Thank
And then,
you.
as I suspected, yours is disabled. Mine was too. So go ahead and click Enable, and then I'm going to show you what that will do for you. I'm going to go back to my inbox. I've changed that setting. And now I want to compose something to the students in my classroom. So I am going to type in, missing work, because isn't that something you always are talking about with students and teachers? So when I click on missing work, I'm going to go down here and you can see the 3 buttons that are stacked up. Some people call those the snowman. But if you click on those 3 buttons here, because we have turned on your templates, now you'll see an option that says templates here. It did not exist before. So if you show this to somebody else and you forget that first option, they'll never see the word templates and you'll sound like a crazy person, because trust me, I've done that already. So when you go to templates here, I have already created some templates based on what I use frequently. And then at the bottom, you'll see Save Draft as a template. And then you'll also see Delete a template. So I have already created a template. So I want to show you what I created. This is missing work. Oops, and my mouse was in the wrong place. So I'm going to move that up here. And here is what it would have, what it automatically shows as my template. Please be aware that your student did not turn in an assignment today. Check out his or her stuff in the parent portal. I could even put a link there that takes parents directly to the sign-in page for the parent portal, which would have been helpful. I didn't think of that as I was creating this. If you need help accessing PowerSchool, please contact the front office and then you can input. The reason I left it as zeros there is because I work at 4 different schools. How do we make a template? So let's assume oh, this is going to be parent. Let's do this. Let's create a good news, because what parent does not like hearing good news about something that their student has done? So I'm going to start with, thank you so much for sending your student to brighten my day. I just wanted to let you know, and I'm going to leave the rest of that blank there. I can go to those 3 dots down at the bottom. I can go to templates, and I can save draft as a template and then save as new template. And then it will give me the opportunity to name that template. So if you want to go further with your template and you want to write that first sentence, write that second sentence, leave a space to actually type in what that kid did that day that's going to be unique for every email, and then do something different at the bottom, then you can do that. I'm going to click save. And now that template exists in my email automatically. So when I go to compose anything, I can click here, and it's important to click where your body of the paragraph would go. And then I can go to my templates. I can select the good news, and there it populates what I've already saved. Okay. Everybody take just 1 second. That's a lie. Take more than 1 second and try to create a template for yourself. That is something that you would use. I'm going to stop sharing so that if anybody has any trouble, we can help you out with that. You can create as many templates in your email as you need or as you want. So keep that in mind if it's something that you tend to send over and over, or if it's something that is procedural, like you're the chairperson of your school improvement team and you often send notes, then you can write the body. You can say, I'm attaching the most recent notes from our school improvement team meeting. And then all you would need to do is go in, select that template, and then just copy and link your newest note page. So that can save you some serious time.
You're going to go back to the same place that you were to create a template. You're going to click on the gear, the wheel, the whatever you want to call it, and then see all. You're going to go back in to filters, or sorry, not back into, but you're going to go to filters. So if you open up a message, this is why I left this open or unread, is if you open up the email that you want to create sorry, I told you to go to the wrong place, so I apologize. So if you'll go back to your inbox and just choose one of your emails on the 3 dots over here, if you click on that, I can block Janet. She'll love that. That's our boss. Or I can filter messages like this. So anything from Janet or has a certain word, so you can filter based on who it's from, who you're sending it to, what it's about. So if you've got a student who you've got a lot of parent communication about and you want to create Johnny his own folder, the email can have the words and you can put their first name, their last name, their whatever. If you want to filter emails that have attachments, you can do that. So I'm going to do anything that's from Janet, and I'm going to search for those first, and then click these 3 dots right here to expand that. And we're going to filter messages like these. Okay. And then the first time we searched, now we're going to create a filter. And I'm going to skip the inbox. I'm going to mark it as red, and I'm going to choose the label, and I'm just making this up as I go. So I'm going to put these underneath the label boss lady. All right. So it's going to apply these to the 7 that it found for today. Okay. If you had 47 that matched that, it would move all 47 of those into that filter. So when I click create filter, if I have that box right there checked for the 7 matching results, then if I come over here to boss lady, now all of Janet's emails are in my boss lady folder right there. You can edit these. That's what I was taking you to the gear for, is I can say that I do not want to do this filter anymore. I don't need a boss lady filter. Then I can go down here and I can just delete that. And now I no longer have that filter. It'll disappear from here and those emails will be back in my inbox. But to create one, I'll walk you through it real quick. So I click the three dots, filter messages like this, and I'm going to search the first time. Then I'm going to click them all, and I'm going to filter messages like these. And I'm going to, the second time, create a filter, and I'll skip the inbox, mark it as red, and then you can send them a template back. Miss Chris just showed you how to make a template. You can choose a different label. I'm going to put it in the Boss Lady folder, and I'm going to create that filter. Questions? And again, you'll have this recording so that you can refer back to it and make your own if you want.
All right. So the next thing on our agenda, and we are going to run out of time. I mean, I'm just saying, we knew that we had planned way too much for this because we weren't sure what all you wanted. So there is a gob of stuff on here that we may not even get to. Maybe we'll have to do a 2.0. I cannot live without the undo feature because I mess up all the time. Inevitably, I will send an email and then go, oh, snap, I meant to add such and such to that. And I go down and hit undo send, and then I fix it and then send it again. Sometimes I have to do that twice. If you will take a look at your email and go again to those settings in your inbox. If you're looking at your inbox, again, your settings can be found up here with the gear, and then see all settings. This one is in your general, because this is something that most people want to use, is the undo. You'll see it here. It's your fourth option down, and you will see send cancellation period of blank seconds, and then you can click the caret and you can select. Let me show you what that looks like in my case. I'm going to send something to Kristina, who is my compadre here, and I'm going to name it How Dare You, and then just kidding. So when I hit send, you're going to notice that down here, message sent, I have an undo and I have a view message. When I click undo, it pops that email right back to me, exactly what I typed. Everything is still there.
And it never hit. Sorry, I was just going to say it never hit my inbox.
No. So it gives you that 30-second buffer. Another tip or trick that you can use, I'm just going to click undo because Kristina, you really didn't need that. How dare you? I'm going to look at this message that I already started. It's one of the templates that I showed you how you can make. And I want to show you how you can schedule your send. So let me see how I did it last time. Yeah, I'm like,
do you, I know, brain goes dead. I think you have to have a recipient in there for the schedule send.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and send it to Kristina Lowe again. And then I'm going to click my three dots down here.
I think it's actually the little arrow by the send.
Thank you. It's the little arrow by the send. Who was that? Thank you, Katie. She saved me.
Yes.
But I don't know if you've seen this, but you can schedule your send to when is convenient for you. So let's say that you have a parent who really needs an update about the kids' work at the end of the day, but you have the kids' second block, and you're like, dude, there's no way I'll remember at the end of the day because I will have hopefully thought about other things since then. I can go ahead and write my email to that parent while the kid's sitting in my room. Hey, I just wanted you to know, Johnny had a really great day today. He was prepared. He was on task. We didn't have any problems with him playing Minecraft. Anybody in here have kids that play Minecraft constantly? But you can schedule that send to a time and a date that's convenient for you that afternoon if you want it. And then schedule the send. It will not actually send it out. If I go ahead and do, you'll see on mine down here, it is scheduled for send at 4:55 p.m. and I still have my undo button. So if I schedule it and then I realize, didn't really want to send that at that time, I still have the option to undo it. Okay, questions about the undo, the schedule send, the templates. Can you erase a scheduled email before it is sent? Yes, you can. Thank you for that question, Alfredo. Katie, I see you nodding. Have you done this already? Share with us. How do you do that?
I have, because I'm notorious for thinking of an email I was supposed to have sent at like 3 a.m. So I'll write it and then schedule send it for the next day.
What, you don't want people to know how crazy we are and that
Yeah,
we
right.
wake up in the middle
Maybe
of the
3 a.m. emails aren't amazing. But yeah, then sometimes in the morning, something will have changed. So you can go in and you can edit it if you need to just change it, or you can delete it before it sends.
So in your email, you'll be able to do that for sure. Any other questions? Oh, Pam says Minecraft woes. Now remember, I'm in intermediate and middle schools mostly, so constant Minecraft everything. Yes.
Everything in my house with my 7-year-old is Minecraft constantly.
Yep. All right. So looking back at your Google tools, we have gone through, signature line is on that that
it's on general as well.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to show them that one, Kristina, or do you want me to show them?
You can, that's fine. It don't matter, whichever.
Perfect. So let's go back into your email. How many of you already have set up a signature line that goes automatically at the bottom of any of your emails? Perfect. Okay.
All right, sounds
so
it
then
looks
we
like
may
quite
not
a
need
few.
to go over that. Yeah. We may not need to go over that. Okay,
if you want us to go over that with you, just shoot us an email and we can Zoom with you one-on-one just at your convenience, if that's okay with you. Or it may be something that you don't want and you're like, move on, ladies, you're crazy.
Perfect. But if you wanted to have multiple email signatures, that video, that's one of the reasons that I put the times and what the additional, like the 2.0 video is going to show you. You can have multiple email signatures. So if you are one, as we are, who works in different schools, if you wanted to have a particular school and the phone number and the link to that school, you could have multiples and then select the correct one. My brain can't do all of that at once. So slide number 9, we're going to ask you to kind of think, but we're almost out of time. So let me do this. Can we go through and look at the remaining slides? And I'm thinking, I don't want to keep you longer than we
scheduled
that on. Then we negotiated our hostages.
Can I add one thing? In that
Please,
same
Katie.
area where you guys add a signature, if you scroll down, that's also where you can add the thing, like if you're going to be away for a week and you want it to respond.
Yes.
It took me like an hour one day to find that. So just in case that saves anyone any time, that's where it is. That's where it lives.
Yes. And that is under your gear, your CL settings, and then under the general down at the bottom. I laugh every time I do that because it says vacation responder. And I'm like, vacation? What teacher gets a vacation? But for illness, and this is going to be something that may impact all of us, you can set that for, I will be out of the school from X to X. You don't have to give them a reason, but just say, and then every email that's sent to your email will bounce back to the sender with whatever you've scheduled to send. So that would be helpful. Okay, it is 3:59. How many of you are brain dead because we've talked too much, too long, and given you too many tips? That hopefully we've given you some tips and tricks that are going to be helpful for what you do on a daily basis. If there's anything that was in these slides that you go, I don't remember how you got there, help me out. Our emails are on slide numero 18. Thank you so much for your time. I feel like we have Google vomited on you, but I hope that it's been, I'm sorry, that's a terrible imagery, but maybe effective. I hope that we have given you some tools and tricks that will make your life easier. And please reach out to your BLC on campus, or feel free to email us with other questions, concerns, ideas. We're always game for those as well. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us.